Hello, everyone, and welcome to LIVEBOX, a brand new entertainment show on Live at the Quays. My name is Alex Charles, and I'm joined with the lovely Anna.
Hi.
So this is a three-part episode. So we're going to talk about loads of different things over these three episodes. So today we're going to talk about Justin Bieber's sexual assault charge, and also the amazing, wonderful, but controversial Katie Hopkins. So, should we get right into it, Anna?
Yep. Yeah, we shall.
Over the past weekend, as you may or may not know, Justin Bieber's actually been charged with a few sexual assaults. One of these came from Twitter by an anonymous person, and it basically just said that they were at a concert in 2014, and Justin, I think it was at Justin invited them back to Four Seasons Hotel.
Yeah, that's what I read as well.
The person then said that it wasn't just them, it was a group of people. So it was her and like 3 or 4 other people. And Justin had invited them backstage and then taken them to Four Seasons and then taken them to a hotel in, I believe, Austin, which is in Texas. And the sexual assault happened there. But then Justin came out to say that that was far from the truth because he actually went to that show. And it wasn't his, he just done a surprise performance, but he went to that show with his girlfriend at the time, which was obviously Selena Gomez.
Yeah, so all of it, he would have been with Selena.
It was really weird because it's like, why would he invite someone back to a hotel when he has a girlfriend?
Yeah, I see. When I was reading it, I didn't realize it was that we would have been with Selena Gomez at that time. So I was reading it thinking, oh, that is like a horrible thing to happen.
Yeah.
But now I'm like,
because they claimed that the assault was in, I think it was like 2014, and we would have been 14 or 15 then. And I remember that was like when Justin Bieber like was popping, like.
Yeah. When he was with Selena Gomez, that was like, oh, he was like at the top of his peak on that time.
It was just weird because it was like you would have thought maybe you would have heard something by then, especially because of the age he would have been. And it was like, especially like if you're like our age and you've grown up knowing who Justin Bieber is, it just doesn't fit his character to do something like that. Because if you look at him now,
how he's portrayed in the media.
Yeah.
People are capable of all sorts. Like,
I just feel like people say certain things, and especially like with something like this that's so serious, when it gets taken like way out of context like this, it can hurt people's careers. And I feel like there might be certain parts of it that are true. Maybe yes.
Yeah, obviously, like if it's happened, it's a horrible thing to happen to the girls. Like if it actually happened, it's awful. It's only just come to the surface now, and why they didn't feel like they could speak about it then, like back in 2014.
I think maybe there is elements of the truth that maybe he did possibly take them backstage, but as more of like a fan gesture, to the point where it's like, oh, these are my fans.
Yeah. Other artists do that. Like they do bring people backstage, not just him. That happens like a lot of the time.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure about like how much it happens anymore. But back then, like it was a normal thing to do.
So obviously since then he's filed a $20 million lawsuit against both of them to sort of prove that he hasn't done anything. But my main question to you is, do you think he done it, and do you think the accusers should be charged if it was all just a lie?
It's complicated because obviously when stuff gets portrayed in the media, we only get certain people's perspectives on it, so it can never like truly decide what happened and what didn't. So like you said, I think there probably are elements of it are true and then stuff that has been taken out of context.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's an awful thing to happen. But again, if he was being accused of it and he actually hadn't done anything, it's really going to hurt his public image. And the fact that he's suing for $20 million, is like shocking.
I personally think that if he comes out and it's all true that he hasn't done it, I personally think that yes, the people that accused him definitely should be like punished in some sort of way, because it's a
Yeah, like,
horrible thing.
obviously they can't like
You
make
can't
it
you
fall
can't let them
away,
off lightly. Like they can't just now go and live freely.
especially considering he's in the public eye. He's like so famous. He's got however million followers on Instagram. Like people look up to him. People idolize him. And say if it is all false, that's his image is still going to be destroyed.
Exactly. It's like kids look up to him. People look up to him. He's still a normal human being. Um, and speaking of humans, I think that brings us on to our next point, because we're going to talk about Katie Hopkins. And yeah, this is the thing. She's been around for a long time, and it's just year in, year out, she manages to do something that just causes so much controversy. It's ridiculous. So
Half the stuff she does, I feel like she only does it for the controversy. Like I feel like
I
she
feel
wants
like
the
that as
attention,
well.
she wants the social media backlash. That's why she posts all this stuff.
Yeah, I highly agree on that. But on Saturday, the 20th of June, Katie Hopkins was banned from Twitter. She's recent. So the thing that I found out recently was that she's actually been banned in the past, but it was only
Yeah,
temporarily.
she has.
And then one of those
But
bans were led by a campaign from Rachel Riley, the girl from Countdown. And so those were like her temporary bans, but this one was like her official ban. Like she's
yeah,
not
she's not allowed back on Twitter
um,
after this.
so anyone who's watching, if you don't know who Katie Hopkins is, she was actually on the third series of Apprentice. That's sort of how she created a name for herself, but she's now
Yeah.
known for being a former LBC presenter.
I didn't even know she was on The Apprentice.
Yeah,
Like,
she was on the
I heard
Apprentice for
her
the
name
third
on Twitter.
series,
That's
but
yeah.
she wasn't controversial at that point. It was more when she came out and then started spouting out stuff. Former
Yeah,
LBC
people like
presenter.
took notice
And
of
then
it.
she got
People
known for like supporting far right people such as Tommy Robinson leading PL. So obviously her account's been moved, but no one actually knows the real reason behind it. But someone did come out and say that she did breach like the I think it was she breached the, I want to say, the hateful policy on Twitter.
yeah, the
So
hate.
the
I mean,
hate
a
policy.
lot of us tweets do that, but I think there's probably took a lot for Twitter to realise that.
There was also one tweet that I saw on her feed, and it was sort of one of her most recent ones, where she was criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement, and
Oh God, yeah. I think a lot of
Marcus Rashford made a statement where
yeah.
he was like, he believes that children should have free school meals, like their funds should carry on throughout this whole period.
Yeah, and she was
And then
arguing.
Katie Hopkins just literally slated him, and I was just
She
like,
was like, "Oh,
you
my
can't
money's
say
not
that.
going on feeding the kids. Oh, if you
Yeah.
can't afford to feed kids, don't have them." It's like,
And I was just like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work, because you're basically just saying you want them to starve. And I was just like,
yeah.
it doesn't make sense. And
Some people can't help the financial situation they're in. Like some people have kids while they're in a financially stable position, and that changes as the kids grow up.
the thing that also baffles me is how she's got 60,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she just uploads videos of her ranting. That's the one thing that baffles me, and I'm waiting for the day that they ban her YouTube account.
They probably will ban her. They'll probably ban her from all social media.
Because
Like Twitter.
I'm happy that they banned her from Twitter, because that should have happened.
Twitter's where she was most active, so
it was where she was most active. But now what I think is going to happen is she's either going to become really active on Instagram, or she's going to become really active on YouTube. And the thing is, if she becomes active on YouTube, that's going to change the whole of YouTube, because they'll now start to make certain guidelines, which makes it harder for people to upload their own content and speak freely about certain situations because of people like her.
Because of her, because she abuses that power.
It's just like people like her, as much as everyone's entitled to their own opinion, it's the way you word it, and it's the way it comes across to certain people. Because don't get me wrong, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and everyone's entitled to freedom of speech. But there comes a point in life where you have to realize there are certain things you say that have certain consequences, and there's certain things you really
Yeah.
shouldn't say. In the
She's yet to realise that.
and it's a bit sad that she's a grown woman and she can't realise that. But what's your final thoughts on the whole Katie Hopkins and Justin Bieber scenarios? Starting with Justin Bieber.
Regarding the Justin Bieber scenario, I don't think because only certain bits of it have been portrayed in the media. Like the people who made these allegations haven't even released their full names. They're just known as Jane Does, I think.
Yeah,
we're
I
not
think
gonna...
one of them is Daniel, I think, and the other one was named as anonymous. So it was more a case of it's
So
just it's a tricky one.
It's only them who are gonna know fully what have happened. Like we're...
So it's also like if you're anonymous, it's more a case of it's a guessing game, really, because anyone can make that allegation. And what about the whole Katie Hopkins situation?
I think it is good that she's been banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
It's good that she's been banned from Twitter, but now that means she can take to more social media platforms. Like,
yeah,
I really don't want that. Like that, that's not going to be good for us.
I totally agree. I think it was a long time coming. I think she should have been banned way
Considering
before.
she's been banned like 3 times before, she should have been permanently taken off.
It's just giving someone too many chances, and when you add her back to Twitter, it's just adding fuel to the fire. But no, thank you for your views, and we're going to move on to the next part.